Look, I need to be direct. This is about safety, not drama. The 5 frozen pizzas I want you to stop eating are Trader Joe's uncured pepperoni from Italy, Connie's thin crust cheese, Totino's party pizza, Tombstone 5 cheese, and Red Baron classic styles. And yeah, I know, that's a lot. Here's the short version, no fluff. Trader Joe's had a federal health alert for missing United States reinspection, and that's not nothing. Connie's pulled product for possible hard plastic, which is exactly what you don't want in a first bite. Totino's and some Tombstone varieties lean on imitation mozzarella and push very high sodium, cheap fixes that hit you later. Red Baron loads sodium and preservatives, and the brand sits inside a global supply chain that does not prioritize your health, let's be honest. I'm calm about this, but I'm also firm. Food should be trustworthy, full stop. If this sounds like the kind of clear, calm briefings you want more of, that's what we do here at PrepWise. Subscribe if you want in. Right now, your move is simple and quick. If one of these is in your freezer, set it aside, then verify the details I'm about to walk through. I worked emergency management for years, and honestly, the rule that saved the most families was this one. When in doubt, do not put it on the table. I wish this list were shorter, but it's not. Can we walk through the exact risks so you can make a clean decision tonight? Stay with me. The first one looks harmless until you read the fine print. Trader Joe's uncured pepperoni pizza imported from Italy triggered a federal health alert because it entered without the required United States reinspection, and that is not a little oops. That is not a paperwork quirk. Seriously. Reinspection confirms the product matches the documents, held the cold chain, and is labeled correctly. It's how we know what's in the box. Without it, safety cannot be verified, and that's the line for me. The alert identified an Italian establishment mark listed as IT558LU, with production in mid-June and best buy dates in mid-August of the following year. No illnesses were reported and the retailer cooperated, but the guidance was clear. Do not eat it, return it, or discard it. Here's how to check your box quickly. Confirm the country of origin, find the establishment mark, scan the production window and best buy date for that mid-June to mid-August pattern. If it matches, stop there and act. I'll be honest, I like Trader Joe's for many items, and part of me wants to excuse this as a one-off. But systems either hold or they don't, and this time a gate failed. Your kitchen deserves certainty, not guesses. If you're holding that specific pizza, the safest move is to pull it from your meal plan tonight. Will you check your freezer before you forget and move on with your evening? Next, we need to talk about plastic where plastic should never be. Connie's thin crust cheese pizza was recalled for possible hard plastic fragments, and that flips the risk from theoretical to physical. Regulators classified it as a Class 2 hazard serious enough to act. That means it could cause injury, like a chipped tooth, a mouth cut, or choking. Imagine that bite mid-movie. About 1,700 pizzas were distributed in Illinois, Minnesota, and Wisconsin before the stop, which isn't massive, but it matters. No injuries were recorded, but the directive was simple. Do not eat it. Return or discard. From years in operations, I can tell you how this happens. Foreign material comes from worn machine parts, damaged scrapers, or packaging breakage when lines run fast. Tiny failures, big consequences. Good plants catch it with sieves, magnets, X-ray, and visual checks, layers by design. A miss means a barrier failed. Here's your quick in-store check. Look for any recall notice posted near the freezer case. Read the lot or batch code and the best buy date and compare to alerts. Scan the ingredient panel and allergen statement for accuracy and clarity. Labels tell you more than ads. At home, if a bite feels wrong, stop eating immediately, take photos, and report it to the store and the regulator listed on the notice. Documentation helps the next family. I do not like picturing a child hitting a shard in a first bite, and that is why I draw a hard line here. Would you be willing to return a pizza rather than risk one avoidable emergency? Now, let's deal with products that look fine but load hidden trade-offs. Totino's Party Pizza and several Tombstone 5 cheese varieties lean heavily on 2 tactics that matter for health, and this is where labels really matter. One is imitation mozzarella, a blend of oils and starches made to stretch like cheese but not meet the definition of mozzarella. Close enough to fool your eye, not your body. The other is sodium that stacks up fast, a quiet number with a loud impact. A single small party pizza can push roughly a full day's ideal sodium in one sitting. And finishing a Tombstone pie can exceed the American Heart Association daily limit by a wide margin, which is why you feel puffy after. Your body answers with thirst, bloating, and higher blood pressure, especially if you already manage hypertension and yeah, I've felt it after long days. Red Baron lands in similar territory on sodium and preservatives, and the brand's parent ownership sits inside a global corporate web where cost and scale often outrank nutrition, and that trade-off shows up on your plate. Here's the practical filter I use at home. Read the cheese line. If it says imitation mozzarella or cheese product, I set it back. Check sodium per serving, then multiply by the realistic number of slices you eat, which is often the whole pie. Let's be honest about portions. Favor brands that still list real mozzarella, like the few called out positively in comparisons, even if they cost more. Pay for ingredients, not marketing. I admit, after long days, the cheap box is tempting, but I'd rather spend a few extra dollars than spend a night riding out a blood pressure spike. If you had to choose, would you pick fewer pizza nights with better ingredients over frequent nights with those hidden costs? One more step and I'll give you a simple recall playbook you can use every time. Here's your quick, repeatable playbook. First, list the 5 to avoid for now. Trader Joe's uncured pepperoni from Italy with the IT558 LAU mark and that mid-June to mid-August pattern. Connie's thin crust cheese tied to hard plastic. Totino's party pizza with imitation mozzarella and high sodium. Tombstone 5 cheese with similar shortcuts and heavy sodium. Red Baron with high sodium and heavy processing inside a global cost machine. Second, verify recalls by matching lot or batch code, best by date, establishment mark, and state distribution. Then decide if it lines up. Don't risk it. Eat it only if your package is clearly outside the notice. Third, act fast. Do not taste test, return, or discard. Document with photos and contact the store or regulator listed in the alert. It creates a paper trail and helps the next shopper. Fourth, shop smarter. Scan for real mozzarella, clean allergen statements, and realistic sodium per whole pie. Make the label work for you. If this steady, practical approach helps, that's what we do each week at PrepWise. So subscribe to stay ready without fear. I know this is a lot, and part of me hates putting favorite brands on a stop list, but a calm, firm pause now prevents a messy night later. Thank you for watching and for caring about your kitchen safety. Will you check your freezer and then watch our next briefing on reading recall codes so you can spot problems in under 1 minute?